Hi, I'm Bill Booz. I'm retired now, but when I was a working professional, I was paid to play with new things, learn how they worked, and then teach others how to use them. I was a teacher. My first teaching experience was as a German teacher, and though I enjoyed that, my life really changed in the early 1980s when computers started creeping into the schools. I was fascinated by these little devices that were mainly being used in the math department, but I could see ways that they could help my students practice the repetitive things that goes into learning a second language. That is to say, I saw something that we could do with these computers that the large school system for which I worked really didn't. That fact eventually took me from my high school classroom and started me on an alternative career within the same school system. Over the next 28 years, I rode the wave of technology and was paid to learn how to use those new technologies as they came out, and then I would teach teachers how they could be used and incorporated into their teaching in the classroom. Remember, much that we take for granted now, back in the 1990s and 1980s, was all brand new. The idea of being able to do what we can do today was just a pipe dream. So as I said, my job in those days, and for those 28 years, was to figure out how these technologies that were brand new might be useful to those of us in the teaching profession. I finally retired several years ago. I turned my curiosity back to an old hobby of mine, photography. My old habits, though, soon kicked in, and I began teaching other people how to use their cameras. I found that I wasn't really comfortable posing people to do formal portraits or even informal portraits, but I did love to teach. And, you know, there are a lot of people who have cameras, high-end cameras, and they're just using them like a point and shoot, and they want to learn a little bit more about them. So I teach one-on-one classes or one-on-one sessions on just that. After a couple of years, though, of doing that, my curiosity kicked in again, and I became curious about using the video capability of the cameras that I had. So I came up with the idea of creating this channel so that I could create videos that helped people with the technology of photography and also how to use their camera more effectively. So basically the classes that I do one-on-one actually in person. So I have this great studio because we live in an old house and we can use the basement for just this. But as I dug deeper and deeper into this video stuff, you know, doing a series on my channel where I was sharing my what I was learning, the mistakes I was making, and hopefully helping other people who were also interested in using video. But as I dug more into it, I got more and more equipment. I bought things and it just sort of has exploded. So because I had that, I figured, okay, well, I'm going to do a series that is basically on the equipment that I'm using. So that's one of my series. And the one that is kind of showing my warts and some of the mistakes I make, or just my ongoing dealing with video is my video updates series. And so I do, but I also figured, well, I teach these classes, so why not share what I'm teaching in the classes through a series as well? So I'm fortunate to have this space to be able to put up, for example, this black backdrop that serves as the backdrop for one of my series. And then I have a white backdrop. I've just added a real nice white material background that lets me, I use this as a set for one of my other series on tools. And this microphone's a little low right now, but I can have a boom mic, so to speak, and really record fairly nicely. So what I'm thinking is that, you know, this space, I use it when I teach flash classes, you know, one-on-one flash classes, and I use regular flash photography then. But I could also use it to teach basics of video recording. And so it just keeps growing into something different, but that's what the channel is all about. So if any of these things are of interest to you, please click on the playlist that appeals to you. And remember, the video update series, I try to do one of those every week, and they're kind of the thread that holds all this together. And I appreciate very much your stopping by and listening to my spiel, and hope that you will find something useful here that helps you progress in your digital photography. Thank you.